Hello guys, AJ here. We're gonna be doing a scythe tier list. Why? Because I like scythes. I like weapons. I like death. Let's get into it. This is the crafting recipe. It's one stick. It's hazel. Oh! Uh, and Hazel's here with me. So, it's one stick with any ore. It can be wood, it can be, iron, diamond, and of course you can upgrade it to the netherite tier if you need. Here it is. This is what it looks like. Design wise, it's like a sickle, and stats wise, if we had to compare it, a sword is 7 damage and 1.6 attack speed. And what that would look like if we were to use it as a weapon, something like that. With a sickle or scythe, it's like this. Which is why I would say it's basically like 1.8 combat all over again. You can just run up to someone and just absolutely decimate them into pieces. Die! Die! Okay. I don't like the baby variants. Anyways, we're going to put in here then that the scythe is like, if you think about it, if you think about the scythe, like its relationship with the sword and axe, it's going to be even less damage, coming in at, what was it, 7 for the netherite variant. So the diamond variant would be 6. So a diamond sword, 7 with 1.6. A diamond scythe is 6 damage with 2.6 attack speed, which is telling us that you're going to be getting -1 damage for +1 attack speed. And the axe, of course, if you wanted the axe to include the axe, I believe it's 9 attack damage with like 0.8 attack speed or something. It's I'll check right now. The axe is very different in its own right. It's 9 for 1 actually. Wow, interesting. Very interesting. It just if we were to take a look at the comparisons, you would have 7 for 1.6. You have like 9 for 1. So you sacrifice 0.6 attack speed for 2 extra damage, plus axes disable shields, which is why the axe is such a powerful weapon in the 1.9 combat system. Swords are still great in their own right with their own attack speed, so that shouldn't be neglected, of course. But if we were to look here, we have basically the way Hazel put it was, what if a sword and a hoe had a baby? And the reason Hazel says this is because, as you'll notice right here, we have a bit of a farmland. And if I were to grab myself some potatoes and bone meal, and I were to plant it, Hazel is just sleeping in bed. Okay. Hazel, let me know what you think about the mod at some point. Alright. So if we were to do this, an amazing feature that we found about the scythe is, let's see if it works in creative. It does. Okay. You can break it like that, and it breaks in like a 1, 2, 3. It's broken. If this was a block, I broke it here. I'd say it was like a 4x4 to like 5x5 radius, I believe it was. And if it was in that kind of radius, then we are talking insane amounts of power where you can just run through your farms with ease. And just, it works on sugarcane too. As you can see, it works on sugarcane. You can blitz through all your farms, quickly mine everything. It is awesome. It is awesome. It's great. And of course, it's compatible with the other sword enchantments. And it's also compatible with, like, I believe, like fortune or something. So it's a different kind of sword type. You can definitely see it as a different kind of sword type. But there was one issue I found. One glaring weakness. If we were to, there seems to be an issue with the fortune enchantment when you are talking about it in respect to, how it works with potato farming. So Thank you, Minecraft. If I were to grab a hoe and I were to enchant that hoe with Fortune 3, breaking a potato gives... Let me just throw that. Breaking a potato gives like, 3, maybe like 4, another 4 there. It gives about that much. But if I were to get Fortune, and I were to try that again, 6, 5, 4, that was the minimum. Our maximum became now our minimum with the inclusion of Fortune. So you have like, okay, maybe not the maximum, but it goes from like between maybe like 1 and 4 to maybe like 3 and like 6, which is quite the difference when you're mining it in massive amounts. We actually tested it. We got like a 5x5, and we like tested it. We got like a stack in 20 with Fortune, and then like a stack in 20 without Fortune, because the issue is the Scythe isn't compatible with Fortune. But if you were to do the same exact thing with a hoe, you get like maybe a stack and 20 versus like a stack and 40. And that's the issue with the Scythe mod that holds it back. Although you have an amazing AoE, it, from what I've tested, doesn't seem to actually function with Fortune, meaning that auto farms or like farming with those enchantments, it's just gonna beat it out. You're just losing a battle. And that really made me sad because this weapon actually looked kind of awesome, and I would definitely have used it. It does work with the sword enchants, though. Of course, you want to see that, so I will show you. Let's see. Let's / enchant sharpness 5. Netherite Scythe cannot support the... What?
こんにちは、司令官先輩。一人ぼっちで寂しいの？ならアニメファンや最強軍用機でのバトルを愛するすべての人に送る夢のゲーム、ウォーサンダーをダウンロードしよう。一緒に可愛い抱き枕を手に入れたくない？じゃあ急いで。
That is annoying. Okay. So we have a mod. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have sharp... Wait. Okay, so we have... I'm just gonna pretend like the explosions aren't happening. 1, 2, 3. Sharpness does work. Don't worry. The enchantment was just lying to you. And of course, fire respect also works if I were to get a mob and punch it. And he's gone. But that's fine. That's fine. So the Scythe mod works with sword enchants. Breaks crops into 5, 4 to 4 by 5 by 5 radius, as you saw. Does not seem to work with Fortune. Or at least, the crops that are affected by the AoE may not be affected by Fortune, but maybe the crop that you initially break is. That could be the issue. And of course, the Scythe's DPS, which is faster, but less damage. Oh, and durability-wise, it's the same exact as, like, the Diamond Scythe is the same exact as the sword and the axe. So with all those things being said, I'm going to rate this as a C tier. I think I'd rate it, yeah. I think it's very vanilla. The design is pretty solid. Everything about it has it going for it decently well, but the attack speed coupled with... Sorry about those explosions. The attack speed coupled with all the other factors kind of, like the Fortune, kind of make it so that it could be good if it had those adjustments. So, if I were to come back to this mod, and this mod had it so the Fortune affected all broken crops, then I put it in the B tier or B plus tier because it's like a good Scythe mod, perfect for Minecraft. It's like not busted, not crazy, very simple, very likable. But for now, I'm gonna put it in C tier. Now, of course, I am not doing this alone, and I have my assistant, who I'm wondering, what are you gonna rate it? If you had to rate it. Oh, and by the way, of course, we actually have a tier list. I'll show you. Probably should. There we go. Okay. We actually have a tier list right here. As you can see, we have the Scythe mod, and then we have these 3 other mods that we're going to get into. But as for the Scythe mod, Hazel said, oh, and then proceeds to summon, what is your rating? Between S, A, B, C, D. which I'd say S is like peak. I'd love this. Okay, nice. I guess Hazel agrees. For me, I would say, by the way, S is like an amazing, awesome mod. I like put this in like a bunch of my playthroughs. It's just really fun to use. It looks wonderful. It's just maybe it's like busted. I kind of like busted things to be honest. Not nothing too like nuts though, where you blow up everything. A is very solid, very functional. Everything it does well. It's easy to like. It's very balanced because I think balance is important. I like busted things, but I also like balanced things. So you have to like work for the busted stuff, right? B tier is standard. Very good. It's good. There's not much to say there, okay? It is just very good. Everything about it is good. It does everything it can do properly and effectively. And of course, C and D would be like, there are problems. C is like for C tier for the Scythe would be, hey, this Scythe was good, but the fortune kind of knocked down a peg, right? And the DPS also is lackluster with no like real special effects that I've seen. That because we tried to test it. Uh, and let me just get away from the blast radius. Server. Okay, getting away from the blast radius because he's just blow up the whole server. D tier is just like too many issues, too many issues. So a good solid start with the Scythe mod, basic Scythe mod. It is it's not bad. It's not bad at all. But if the creator were to come back and fix this, definitely make the fortune work with all the exploded crops. I'd knock this up to B, B plus instantly. Design wise, it's more of a sickle than a scythe, but that's okay because it works. It's used for farming anyways. And with that being said, let's move on to the next one. Hazel. Hey, Hazel? Hazel! Well, guess I gotta go find Hazel now. Okay, you were just in hell.